The post-Ronaldo era is well underway at Real Madrid, but who will fill the void left by CR7? Which new boy slots straight into the starting lineup, and which want-away midfielder still has a key role to play? All that coming up in the next few minutes as I present to you a Real Madrid potential 11 for the upcoming season. So as normal with most team sheets, we'll start in goal where we have possibly the most hard done by goalkeeper in all of Europe. It seems there is absolutely nothing Keylor Navas can do to hold on to his #1 spot for Real Madrid. Whatever he does, including winning 3 Champions League titles in a row, he still has to face the daily transfer rumours. Maybe Lloris is joining, maybe De Gea is joining, maybe Courtois is joining. Well, the Belgian did in the end, and it's because of that, Navas will have to give up his #1 spot and Thibaut Courtois will take the reins at Bernabeu. Moving into the defence, and it's not necessarily the starting back four that will cause so much of an issue, but more of the depth of the squad. For example, at right back, Real Madrid have Dani Carvajal, a solid right back who's given his all for the club in the last 2 years and will be looking to bounce back after that injury in the Champions League final. If Carvajal does get injured or suspended, they can always rely on Nacho to fill in at right back. Over at left back, it's still Marcelo. He's been bombing up and down the wing at Real Madrid for years and looks set to continue to do so, despite rumours that Cristiano Ronaldo wants him to join him at Juventus. Again, if Marcelo were to be injured or suspended, well, new signing Alvaro Adriozola could step in. However, if not, they can always rely on Nacho to fill in the void at left back. We now move into the centre-back position where there's a partnership which is to be feared by most strike forces all across Europe. On one side you have Raphael Varane, the huge French defender who's an absolute monster and looks set to be one of the best defenders in Europe for at least the next 10 years. Again, if he steps out, there's always Nacho to fill in. Alongside Raphael Varane at centre-back, we have the club captain, the perennial winner, the man with the best sporting attitude there is, Sergio Ramos. Whether you love him or you hate him, you cannot deny that the guy just wants to win at all costs, even if it does mean accidentally injuring the opposition's best player. Cue the case of Mo Salah in the Champions League final. As for cover in this position, well, there could be Jesus Vallejo, who looks like a decent youngster after some impressive spells on loan at Eintracht Frankfurt, but if all goes to pot, once again, they can call on Nacho. Nacho seems to be the backup option in every single position and is the perfect utility player. He loves the club, he'd give everything every time he's on the pitch, no matter where he's playing, and to top it all off, he has such a fantastic name. Moving into the midfield three, and we come to the defensive role, which is quite often understated, and there is no one more underrated than Casemiro. Even though Zinedine Zidane said on multiple occasions that he was one of the most important players in the team, it's so hard to focus on him when you're distracted by all the glamour that Bale, Ronaldo, Kroos, Modric and Isco provide going forward. And whilst Dani Ceballos is quite a decent backup, he's more of a ball-playing midfielder, so that leaves Casemiro to break down the opposition's attack before giving it to one of the more glamorous players to start the moves off. Alongside Casemiro in midfield, we have one of, if not still, the bargain of the decade in Toni Kroos. It's unbelievable to think that he moved to Real Madrid from Bayern Munich for just 25 million euros. That can't even get you 90% of Moussa Sissoko nowadays. Kroos was the player who came out with a small bit of credibility during Germany's terrible World Cup run. However, he definitely looks set to keep his place in the Real Madrid lineup alongside someone who could be in line for the UEFA Player of the Year and potentially the Ballon d'Or. Despite a summer of transfer rumours linking him to Inter Milan, Luka Modric is still a Real Madrid player and looks to be so for the next year at least. The likes of Mateo Kovacic couldn't break Modric's stronghold on the position, so he's gone on loan to Chelsea, and Martin Odegaard has as much chance of playing for the Real Madrid first team as I do this year. And whilst we're on the topic of Luka Modric, let's turn our attention to the fact that he is one of the top 3 players in European football according to UEFA. He's been nominated alongside Mo Salah and Ronaldo for the coveted UEFA Best Men's Player of the Year award, so let's see if he could actually win it. First up, there's Mo Salah, and while there's no doubt he had a great season, he didn't win any trophies. Liverpool finished 4th in the Premier League, and well, he scored as many goals as Ronaldo, but in way more games. So unfortunately for all you Salah lovers out there, it's not quite going to happen for him. The aforementioned Cristiano Ronaldo is of course up there, having been UEFA Champions League top goal scorer again and won the title for a 5th time. But I still think that Ronaldo's poor showing at the World Cup means he doesn't necessarily have the edge on Luka Modric. Here's why I think he'll win UEFA Men's Player of the Year. Well, he's been absolutely fantastic and an unsung hero for years. When he first joined Real Madrid, he was actually voted worst La Liga signing of the season, but has since gone on to turn it around and played a pivotal role in the 4 Champions League trophies they've won in the last 5 years. Adding to that the fact that he captained Croatia to the World Cup final when they were no more than the dark horse before the tournament started means he could be in line for the Ballon d'Or as well. But back to the Real Madrid starting lineup, and we have a real problem when it comes to the attacking midfield role. So much so that I can't even decide between the two. On one hand, you've got Isco, a fantastically diminutive player full of agility, skill and balance, and you've got Marco Asensio, someone who's supposed to be taking on the mantle as the next big Spanish player of his generation. So, who plays? You guys decide. Let me know in the comments below whether you think Isco or Asensio should be in the number 10 role. Whoever plays there, they'll be behind one fearsome attack, even without Cristiano Ronaldo in the lineup. But before we get on to the big question about who can replace Ronaldo at Real Madrid, we'll look at the other striker, and of course, it has to be Karim Benzema. The guy has received so much slack, and to be honest, I don't even understand why. He's managed to hold down a place in Real Madrid's first team for 10 seasons, while scoring over 130 goals at the Bernabeu. You don't just do that by being a striker. On top of this, Zinedine Zidane regularly made comments last season about how key Benzema was to how the team plays, and it even allowed the likes of Bale and Ronaldo to go and score as many goals as they did. Of course, this season, should Real Madrid employ a wider tactic in the front 3, you could see the likes of Lucas Vazquez and Vinicius Jr. playing more game time, and if transfer rumours to be believed, there could have even been Willian and Hazard to add to this lineup, but let's not deal on the past, let's look at what could come. So Ronaldo has gone. Harry Kane is definitely not going to be signing for Real Madrid, having signed a huge contract with Spurs, and Lewandowski has done a massive U-turn on saying he wants to leave Bayern and now looks absolutely happy there. So it's down to Gareth Bale. He's been living in Ronaldo's shadow for the last 5 years at least, and now that finally CR7 has left, we can all see what Bale is truly made of. Put all the injuries aside, and you still have a fantastic player who may not be able to necessarily emulate what Ronaldo did, but can still bring just as much to the team. He's quick, he's got fantastic dribbling, he's good in the air, he's a brilliant finisher, and he doesn't strike a free kick too badly either. Again, he might not get the goals that Ronaldo did, but with Real Madrid working as more of a cohesive team unit, we could see Bale fire his way to the top of the goal scoring charts in La Liga, and maybe even the Champions League. So there you have it, a 4-3-1-2 formation for my Real Madrid potential 11 this season. But what did you guys think? Who's going to replace Ronaldo? Who's going to win the UEFA Men's Player of the Year? Let me know in the comments section down below. Don't forget to smash that like button, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.